Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. I was just listening to a story about bullies. It suddenly occurred to me that nothing has happened about them in the past 40 years. When Silverlight was younger, he was not the most popular kid. Pretty much one-man army by myself. And I'd love to regale you with tales of heroism as I stood up to them, but realistically, when you're getting beat down regularly and all the things like that happen, you just kind of learn how to cower. It took me years to get my self-confidence back, and I'm not ashamed to admit that probably listening to my voice, I probably still don't sound all that self-confident. But then we started these anti-bullying, no tolerance, all this sort of stuff. Great, I thought. Now, I didn't have any skin in the game while this was happening, but I do now. My 9-year-old is at camp. And while she's enjoying camp overall, last week she had an assignment which, what is it called? Future typing or something. Basically, it's a complicated way to write out where your life is going to be in the future. And, what do you want to be doing in 20 years? Oh, I want to be a doctor. When do you think you'll get married? 2040. Just plug your values in. It's just an entertaining a thing to allow kids to look into their future and say, hey, this is a good idea. Or this is whatever they want to react to it, it's camp activity. Well, the little girl sitting behind my little girl suddenly decided to do that supremely annoying thing that children do. And she, for some reason, decided she was going to sit behind my little girl and go, you're going to have 88 babies. 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 Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm talking about. When a kid decides to repeat something forever, you could be the Pope. You could be the Dalai Lama. And even they're going to say, shut up, you little... insert something here. And here we are in 2022, and despite all the programs, it's still going on. Now, I'm a little more mature than I was back then, and I just simply had 2 questions. Did you go to the counselors? Because I know the counselors are teenagers, and probably some of them went through bullying themselves. But always you should stand up for yourself. And my little girl's actually pretty decent size for her age. She's tall and slender, and believe me, she's quite athletic. So to have this little butt nugget do one of the stupidest things in the world to her, I started teaching her, when that happens, you go to the authority. Now, as it turns out, my parents were taking her the next day, and they did talk to the authorities. They were told not to worry about it. Excuse me? I would care about this whether it was my child or some other child, whoever you want to drop into this situation, but for all these decades, they've been preaching, bullying, you have to get on it when it starts so you can make sure it doesn't continue. This is basic philosophy at the present time. It used to be I would teach my kid how to fight and she would clock her and there would no longer be a problem. We are not in the 1970s. We are not in the 1980s. My father was a pacifist. I didn't learn to fight like that. Again, learn to fight later in life. But how is it possible to allow this to go on? And it is bullying behavior. You're saying something to annoy somebody on purpose. If I did this crap at any of the workplaces, there's a big difference. I understand teasing somebody. And I've teased people, and they've teased me. And there's a difference because there's a laugh at the end of it. If the person isn't laughing, you didn't make a joke. you basically made fun of them. And it's that easy. Because my best friend, I've known him forever and a day. I know one thing that would upset him if I say it. So I never say it. It's that simple. I don't even make a joke about it. The only time we make a joke about it is because we were standing at line to get ice cream. And I was kind of giving him the gears without doing it. Because I have a full head of hair, he doesn't. That'll give you a hint of what he doesn't like to talk about. And I wasn't really giving him the gears. I was just saying, hey, you know how hard it is to keep this luscious hair under control? I was being a bit of a dick, but difference is he's my best friend. He'll let me away with certain things. And behind us, the guy standing behind us in line finally got sick of it and said, yeah, but your hair, meaning my hair, has all the gray hair, whereas his doesn't. Touché. No problem. Everybody has a laugh. We all go home happy. Whereas if I just sat there and said, you got no hair, you got no hair, you got no hair, you got no hair. Yeah, my friend's not violent, but same token, I would understand him popping me. Anti-bullying, we need a better strategy. Because why am I reliving moments 40 years later in my life? This stuff should be squashed. It shouldn't be swept under the carpet. The only reason I'm not going after this particular camp is because the little girl that picked on my girl isn't there this week. And I'm saying, okay, I would have appreciated the camp counselors telling me that. I just had to tell my little girl, hold on, maybe she won't be here next week. And then you don't need to put up with her ever again. And if she does, go protect yourself by going to the counselors. I gave her a couple one-liners. My favorite being, you're only going to have 2 children, but neither one's going to want to talk to you because you're so annoying. I have a little bit of a black belt now in verbal jiu-jitsu. I spend days listening to comedians just so I can have the lines in my head available to bring them out. Because they're not really naturally very funny. So the difference is, I took the Japanese method where there's the battleships show up one day and say, hey, we're forcing you to become open to the world. Okay, I can do that. But I'm also going to study from the best. And I'm going to learn from the Germans. And I'm going to learn from the British. And we're going to combine the best of both into a force that has never been seen before. So that's why I love watching comedy, stand-up comedy, because especially when they get into heckling, you should never heckle, you should never bother anybody, but the same token, someone's coming after you, you need to learn that art of verbal self-defense. And it's hard, but I've taught myself over many years. And now people just think, oh, Silverlight's the master of these verbal comebacks. No, I studied hard. There's no natural talent. Also, I have to be careful because she's a 9-year-old becoming a 10-year-old. So there's a lot of insults I could use that I can't really be teaching her. And this is the funny part. What if she uses one of my more choice verbal defense methods and they say, oh, well, you made the little girl back there cry. Good. She deserves it. Oh, well, now all of a sudden you have an incident. Yeah, when the bullying starts, it's, leave it alone. Or my personal favorite expression, be the bigger man. I hated that. I had that used on me a couple times. It's like, this person is literally doing something illegal. Oh, just be the better man. No, you mean you don't want to deal with it. Christ, I hate that expression. It's okay if you're in a high school environment and like 2 kids on your football team are trying to scrap. Then I can understand it. But in a professional environment, it has never worked. And I've done it a few times in my life. And the more you stand up and try to keep a stiff upper lip and be the better man, hey, is that a sexually offensive term nowadays? Be the bigger man? I don't know. All I know is I've hated it my entire life because it's basically your boss saying, I'm not doing anything. Have fun. And I don't operate like that. Because like I said, bullies happen at every age. Whether you're 8 or 88, there's somebody who just has nothing better to do with their life, and they think making fun of you, I'm not going to call it teasing, because like I said, the big difference is teasing, somebody's going to laugh back. If you and your high school friend were, talking to some ladies, and he had a big booger on the side of his nose, and he's about to say, hey, I'm going to go try to ask that woman at the coffee shop for a date. They hand him a Kleenex. It's funny. Oh, yeah, what my nose. Ha, ha, ha. It's a big difference for me to get up and yell at the lady, hey, booger's going to come in and talk to you. That's completely wrong. But you see the difference? One is well-intentioned. Ha, ha, everybody gets along. It's that easy to tell the difference. I would still love to know where the anti-bullying campaigns went, because I sure as hell didn't benefit from them, and I'm pretty sure kids today aren't benefiting from them either. The good news is, she doesn't live very far from school, and if I ever catch anything happening, we had some kids that started to hang around my neighbors, and I don't want to say anything about the kids, but it was becoming a 3 boys on 1 girl situation. I'm just like, nope. My parenting skills are developed enough that I recognize, yes, they might be good kids, but I see these guys do some pretty shady stuff. Which, I mean, they're 10-year-olds. They're not breaking cars or anything like that. But at the same token, they do some clearly illegal stuff. Not selling drugs, nothing like that. But you see, I can take preventative measures there. When she's alone at camp, she's got to be able to stand up for herself. So what do you think some good anti-bullying measures are? Because apparently nobody's invented one in the past 40 years, and we got to start doing it now. Because I don't want any other people getting bullied. With that, we hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the link down in the comments so you can buy a book and really help this channel along. We hope you have a fantastic day.